Hi, I'm Lara Wallace, your Bass Capital Radio podcast host. Today we are here with Courtney James with the City of Palatka.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. We have had a long history of working together different at the call center.
Yes, ma'am.
And now with you being at the City of Palatka, I try to come and aggravate you at least once a month. So first question I have for you is, are you from Putnam County?
I was born in Alabama. I
Okay.
moved here when I was 11 years old. So I want to say I was born there, but I was raised in Palatka, Florida. So this is
Might as well be then, right?
This is hometown to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so you're with the City of Palatka. What did you do before you came to the city?
Prior to working with the city, I worked at a juvenile correctional facility for over 10 years. I was a program director, and I just worked with the kids for a while.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so program director kind of naturally marries with what you're doing now, right?
You can say pretty much overseeing staff and help coordinate things. So yeah, you can pretty say it's in the same line.
Okay, so now that you're with the City of Palatka,
Uh-huh.
tell us what your role is there.
I'm the culture arts coordinator. So basically, I help coordinate any special event throughout the city limits. I also oversee 8 rental properties for the city of Palatka.
You got your hands full, huh?
Yeah, so I'm kind of everywhere. So
That's a full-time job, huh?
yes, of course.
So if somebody's putting on an event, we can expect to see you there?
Most likely, if there's an event in the city limits, you're going to see me somewhere around. So I got my hands tied somewhere in the process.
So you're in the know of everything.
I'm in the know of everything.
Yeah, that I'm sure that's a lot. There's a lot of things going on in Palatka.
Yes.
Everybody says there's nothing to do, but I disagree, and I think you would too.
Yeah, I disagree. We kind of got some things picking up, so we're trying to liven the city a little bit. We got the Blue Crowd, which is known. It's coming up, so hopefully everybody come out and enjoy it. It's a 3-day event, so hopefully see some a lot more faces.
Oh yeah. So the Blue Crab is our focus this month.
Okay.
And one of the things that I definitely have interest in talking to you about, amongst other things, but the Blue Crab Festival for almost 30 years has been a part of our community. Did you attend that as a youngin?
I did. As a kid, I pretty much attended all the Blue Crabs until it took a little. During deviation during the COVID period, but
Yes, sir.
as soon as it picked back up, I was back with it. So, and now I'm officially a part of it since I helped oversee and coordinate it with the Ancient City.
Ancient City Entertainment.
Yeah,
which
Ancient
is
City
at it. Yeah.
Entertainment. So, I'm pretty much a part of it now. So,
I
love
think
it.
it's such a different experience.
Yes.
To attend it versus put it on.
It is quite a different experience. I get the full hands-on of working with the coordinator and some of the vendors and just seeing the whole process of how it's put on prior to just attending it.
Yeah. So having had my hand in organizing it at some point, the city involvement is super important. I think we often forget about the sanitation, the road management, trying to block off.
Yeah, there's
how
different
many city blocks?
there's different aspects. You got the public works who deal with the roadblocks, and then you got the police that enforces it. And the amplified sound. So it's different variables that go into coordinating it and making sure it's put on right.
Well, it's a necessity to have that partnership. I'm sure, there's so many different aspects of it. And Janetta, who we've spoke to very recently,
Yes.
was talking about, the volunteers and the musicians. But she really tipped her hat to the city and how wonderful you guys have been to work with. She said, you've been excellent. So it's great to know that there's a good partnership there.
Yeah, and likewise to her. She's been a big help too. So it goes hand in hand. And a good working relationship goes a long way. So,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's much easier to get things accomplished when you work together as a team.
most definitely.
So let's talk about you attending the Blue Crab as a child. So what is the thing that you remember doing or enjoying when you attended?
Besides the food, because that's the main the main attraction,
Absolutely.
it's just the enjoyment of meeting new people and just mingling with the people in the city and people that's not from here. So the networking part and just enjoying the beautiful scenery.
How many people are we expecting in attendance for this? How many are we prepared for?
Um, if I can recall, I know it's several hundred people, probably a couple thousand. It just depends because it's a 3 day event, so it
Mm-hmm.
just depends on the crowd of each day.
Mm-hmm.
But roughly each day, I know we have probably over 1,000 people, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends.
As attending it as a child, you got to mingle with all these people. How many people are we thinking might show up over this 3 day event?
Over the course of a 3 day event, I think the record, or maybe somewhere close, is about 100,000, somewhere
Wow.
in that range.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of sanitation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Hats off to you guys.
it is.
That actually came up in the original Blue Crab was how much sanitation work went into that. I mean, trash cans everywhere.
Yes, those guys that does sanitation, I give a hand to them, I pat them on the back because
Mhm.
that is a lot of trash throughout that weekend that they have to unload and load. So it's a handful, and I don't know what we would do without those guys. So
Mm-mm.
I
We'd be out there cleaning that
yeah,
up ourselves, and that would be a struggle
right.
for sure.
So that's surely appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. So having attended it and now looking at the back end, what do you feel like is one of the more challenging pieces of putting this on?
The challenging pieces are, I guess, just everybody being on the same page. Because like I said, it's a different. I mean, it's a lot of variables that go into the process.
Hmm.
So, just everybody working together and just seeing the one vision and just making it happen.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
I mean, I mean, different people can have different, you know what I mean, process or mind process of the
Hmm.
event. So, just getting on the same page.
How often do you guys meet to go through the planning?
Um, well, once the application is processed, and it gets close, we try to do at least one meeting a week just to stay on top of things. As it gets closer, we might do two. So
That's important to stay connected as things
yes,
transpire.
yes, because things change, stuff come up at different times. So it's just good to stay on top of things and be on the same page.
Absolutely. So let's say somebody was interested in putting on a festival
Uh
like
huh.
the Blue Crab. I have been lucky enough and was very thankful for Mr. Don Holmes, formerly a city manager, who helped me through this process and was very patient. And Aaron, who was your predecessor,
Yes.
handed the baton over to you. That they helped me along the way in figuring out what all was involved. But let's say I wanted to put on a festival. What would I need to do?
Basically, you would need to come to the City of Palatka Community Affairs Department. You would need to fill out a special event permit. Um, in the process of coming to get an application, I would go over the process of what I mean, all the things that you need to assure you that your event will be approved. Once we go through all the guidelines, you have all your permits and everything approved, and then we'll go forward with the event.
I like it. How many event applications do you get a week, do you think?
It depends. It varies. Depending on the time of the year. So I could probably about 3 to 4 a week.
Wow.
Just depends. Some
Yeah.
people do it ahead of time. Some people do it short notice, but we at least like 30 to 60 days to process an application because it has to go before the commission to get approved.
Well, that's good information. So if you're deciding you want to plan a festival, step one, go find Courtney. Get
Right.
you an application, let him walk you through the process. And that's a great resource. I'm really appreciative to have someone available to help me. I know as I was looking at applying for an event recently, I immediately called you and said, "Hey, I'm coming for you." But to know that having that lead time is important. It's not like throwing a birthday party.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And for the bigger events, we even like a longer notice. So
Mhm.
just it's a lot going into it. So that's why we would like the length of time to process the application and make sure everything is vetted and correct. So
Janetta was sharing that she had started planning for this year. The past 2 years were kind of short timeline, but she started just a couple months after the last Blue Crab, so kind
yes,
of rolling right back into it.
yeah. So she's sort of on top of things. Like from my understanding, like she started as soon as the blue crab was over with. So most of her ducks was in a row. She just had to make sure it was cleared through the commission, and she's been on top of it.
Well, that's excellent. So, some events are just like a one-time event. Maybe you're doing something that's special for recognizing maybe somebody retiring and you throw a retirement party, where some people want to create events that continue on. And such as the Blue Crab. I know, the fly-in and classic car show, which I've referenced before. What other events or applications do you see come through? What type of events?
Um, I see majority of fishing tournaments, of course, because we on the St. Johns River. So we have a number of fishing tournaments. We have several different car shows. We have some annual events that we like, the 4th of July, trunk or treat, things of that such, and just general events that people want to have. So
Community building.
yeah, community building or a vendor base where they just items are being sold. So we have different events that throughout the city that people come to try to put on.
So you've seen a lot of them. Are there any events that you think that have not been brought that you'd really like to see?
Um, I would like to see some type of, I guess from the city's perspective, some type of wrestling event down here or a boxing event.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've seen them around town, a few in the county, so I would like to see an event like that. Hopefully, that's in the planning of this year. So
Oh, that's awesome. Heck
yeah.
yeah. I would love to come down and experience that. I haven't seen, I mean, I know that we have some wrestling type stuff in the community,
Yes.
but a boxing event would be cool. I know a lot of people would attend
Yeah,
that.
I think that too. So
Maybe hold a UFC down there one day, right?
maybe I have to get it approved, but
Yeah.
hopefully sometime soon.
That's why they come
Yeah.
see you, right?
Right.
So that let's talk more about Blue Crab. As we prepare for this event, this has been in the history books for many people attending that. The work that goes into the background, like we were just talking about, 2 months after the last one, she was into planning it.
It takes a lot.
Mhm. You know, the fireworks that go on, the ski show. Do you have a team that helps, like you manage all this?
Yes, well, we have a special event team that vet the applications, but during the process of putting on an event, I have a few people that help me. Well, you can say it's a team that we come together and throw out ideas to see what the next event or how can we make an event even better. So
I like it. I like the collaboration. It's important for us to work together in these
yes.
type of things. Um, the level of blue crab and how far it extends, does that present any challenges for you?
Um, it can, but I'm just the type of person that I kind of make things happen or kind of brush things off. So whatever the problem is, we analyze it, fix it, and keep moving. So
That's what I've heard as well.
yeah,
You can't let something hold you down. Things you can't control,
you,
like the weather, that
you can't
comes up
control that, so
sometimes.
you just got to keep moving.
So it's really thinking outside the box
Yeah,
on how to make that happen. So it
most
sounds
definitely.
like the city really wants to see these events succeed.
Yes, anything we can to make the event better or assist in making it better, then we're all for it. So
Are there any things that you feel like people should be aware of when, navigating these events? Obviously, traffic gets real hairy down
yes,
here during these.
just be mindful of the road closures and roadblocks. They're put out ahead of time, so you kind of know of what location that you can travel down and what location you cannot. So just be mindful of it.
Where could we find that information if I was going to have to go to Publix from the other side of the town, and I didn't want to, I'm a backroads kind of gal. I'm going to not take the main thoroughway. So where would I find that?
Um, First, if you want any knowledge of any events coming through the city, you can come through the community affairs office. We will let you know. And most of the time on our city webpage, they kind of post things ahead of time of what events are coming on and what roads should be blocked or
Excellent.
closed. So
Perfect. Well, we'll drop a link below. So if anybody has any questions, can they get the application to this
yes, you
on
can
there?
get the application online. You can go to the City of Palaka's website and just you can print it off.
Okay. So is there anything that you feel like from a planning perspective has been a challenge with previous applications? Maybe a helpful hint what to avoid?
Last minute applicants. Like you said, I have to get it approved through the commission. So if you bring it in on the day 30, I mean 30, and the commission meeting is in 2 weeks, it's hard to get it on the agenda. So that's why we ask for the time limit. So if it's a smaller event, I can kind of work with 30 to 60 days, but if it's a large event like the Blue Crab,
Mhm.
at least 90 days in advance. So
Excellent. Yeah.
getting it in on time is the biggest issue.
Okay, that's good to know. Um, Now you mentioned like insurance. So
Yes.
explain that a little bit.
Just depends on the level of your event. You will need insurance,
Hmm.
and that has to be approved by the city. Once you have your insurance, it has to get processed and make sure that the insurance is legit.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure you've seen some things come across your desk that
yes,
maybe weren't quite
yes,
copacetic.
yes. So we just make sure everything is current and just make sure the policy is what it needs to be.
Well, we're T minus, what, almost 2 weeks, little over 2 weeks.
Yes, two
Yeah,
weeks.
just about two
It's
weeks
about 2 weeks.
out from the blue crab. So what is the focus right now for the city?
Right now, we're just double checking things. We're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, making sure everything is in order. Right now, a lot of the vendors and carnival people are coming down to just check out the location and seeing where they're set up. So just double checking the paperwork, making sure everything is set, and just making it happen.
I like it. So as things start progressing and we get closer, everybody's getting hyped up. You know, everybody wants to go eat the blue crab. Some
Right.
people go for the vendors. The music has been a big draw.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
different music than I think not different. Well, different music would be a good way to say it, but some big names.
Yes, yes. She has several different big names. I know Trick Daddy is one, and I think Sunday night she has, if I'm not mistaken, Q45 or
Okay.
from the radio station, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, the last few years she's had the Yin Yang Twins. I think she
Mm-hmm.
had Genuine before that. So
Yep.
she's brought several different big names out, and the crowds loved it. So I'm pretty sure I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah. So you might have noticed a little break in our podcast here. So Courtney is a very in high demand young man around here. We took a little intermission a moment ago, and then got another phone call. So it seems like you are needed in many places.
You can say that. I have several different hats that I wear, so I'm just making it happen, man. So
It sounds like it's almost a 24/7 gig you got going.
pretty much I see it as that. I have different parts and different things. So like um to coordinate an event, it takes a lot. So it
Hmm.
is it's many different hours. So different things call for different times. So I got different hats. So
Well, from somebody who's worn a number of hats, I just have to say thank you from a community perspective, because without someone in your position, just boots on the ground, being able to help make all of this happen, we wouldn't be able to benefit from these events like the Blue Crab or Boo on the Avenue or
yes.
things like that. So thank you for all the hard work that you put in, and the phone calls and the endless hours. We respect it. And, I couldn't imagine how much you have to put in, but what do you enjoy about what you do?
Meeting people. I meet so many different people, and it's just if I can help somebody, that does something to me. So,
Mhm.
um, I'm a people's person, and just networking with the people, knowing that I can give back in some type of way, and if I can make somebody smile or make their day, it just does something to me. So,
Well, I love that. I'm a people person, and
yes,
I think you definitely do that. Do you have children?
Yes, I have 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy.
I would say bless your heart, but I have 3 girls and 1 boy. So we're making, I really believe that the work that you're doing and the things that, Bass Capital Radio podcast are trying to do is inspire our children.
Yes.
And showcase the history and encourage them to go out and do their own event and bring them to these events. And and talking with Erin again, who you work very closely with, as a young girl, she was with her mom who had done certain things and brought her to the Blue Crab and brought food down. And that really inspired her. So, our younger generation, and hopefully watching this, go out and decide they want to bring an event to the city and they want to give back in the same way that we're doing or that you're doing,
Right.
come find a role at the City of Palatka. Because one day you're going to retire.
Right.
Not,
I
not
got to retire
anytime
one
soon,
day.
right? Yeah,
No
one
time
day.
soon, but I got to someday.
Yeah. So, is there an opportunity for the youth to help out in these kind of things?
Most definitely. I take volunteer applications all the time. So if people want to come
Nice.
down to volunteer, we just have to make sure we do a background check and put them in the area that we need. And if they come down and they suggest a certain area that they want to volunteer in, I try to make that happen, as long as it don't conflict with anything.
I
So
like that. What kind of opportunities have you put volunteers in before?
just depends on what they're looking for. I have several different people that come down that want to volunteer at the River Center. I have
Mhm.
several different people that want to volunteer doing events. Just like an Easter event, I had 3 parents that wanted to come down and station 3 different posts.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bounce house post. One parent
Oh,
volunteered.
volunteers
Yeah,
are great, aren't they? The
yes,
bounce house. Hooey.
and several different that helped me hide eggs. So it just depends on the
Nice.
event and what the volunteer is looking to do. So, guys, if you want to come out and volunteer, just come down to either the St. John's River Center or the Jenkins Community Center
I
and
like that.
get with me.
I think that we have to remember as a community, sometimes I think that there's this, I don't want to say barrier, but we forget that we can work together with our city and that
Right,
we can be a part of it. You attend it and you enjoy it, and that's great. That's what we want. We want our community to thrive. It brings an economic boost for something
right,
such as the level of the Blue Crab or the health and wellness of our community members. But there's a place to be involved. So it doesn't mean that, just because you enjoy doing it doesn't mean that you can't go be a part of it in that way, something
right,
meaningful. And I'm sure that hiding eggs and manning the bounce house and all that could not be accomplished without volunteers.
right. And like I said, we just here to better the city. So your input, your volunteers, I mean, whatever. So we just looking to make our city better. So however that consists of us working or volunteers helping us out, we just here for that. So
Excellent. So, as we approach Blue Crab Day, are you going to have time to enjoy any of it?
I'm gonna try to enjoy at least one day with my family.
Okay.
The other days I'll probably be working. Even though I'll be at the Blue Crab one day with my family, I still probably be working.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
That's the nature of the beast,
that's the
right?
nature of the beast. But I plan on enjoying the festivities. I did last year while I was working. So
That's always a great feeling to be able to watch what you're doing come together,
yes,
but still be able to be a part of
part
it
of it.
from a experiential standpoint. What is your must do during the Blue Crab this year?
My must do during the Blue Crab this year would be what would I say?
Well, we got a lot of vendors coming.
We got a lot of vendors.
We got a lot of food.
Last year I didn't try as many food vendors as I usually do. So this year I would try to spread my love around and try to show love to some of the vendors. So
I like it.
making sure they make some money.
What is your favorite Blue Crab dish that you've tried thus far?
I'm a crab cake guy, so I love
Crab
crab
cakes.
cakes. So if you got good crab cakes, if you're a vendor listening to me, I'll be to your spot.
If you see Courtney with his City of Palatka shirt on, hook him
Right,
up with some crab cakes.
right.
Well, I think this was really, really insightful because I do know that there are people out there who are interested in putting on events, but they just don't know how. And, knowing that the city is a resource and a partner in this, and that when you apply to have an event in the city of Palatka, it's not just, well, yes, you can do the event and then being left out there, but really a collaboration. I think that might encourage some people to do that.
Yes, of course. Just knowing that the city is willing to help with you putting on a special event, and the only thing we're here to is just to make sure that you within guidelines
Hmm.
and procedures that needed to put on the event. So we're just here to as a guide, pretty much.
Keeping the community safe, keeping
Keeping it.
us in line,
Yes,
making
ma'am.
sure we're not too loud for too long.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, your role is a very important one, and just you being here is giving back to the community. And I hope that you're inspiring your children to do
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same thing. I know you inspire me to not be afraid to go out there and put an event on. There is a lot of work, and we appreciate how hard you work for that. But we look forward to the blue crab, and I'm going to
Yes.
hunt you down, and hopefully you will have a crab cake in hand.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Maybe we can draw one
I like it.
together.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Again, you can find all the links that we've talked about below. If you have questions, be sure to reach out to Courtney. But until then, we'll see you at the Blue Crab.